RJ Gottlieb here. We're going to be looking at the Big Boar Bash weekend and Big Red doing one of the flag races. Okay, here we are at Willow Springs, the Big Boar Bash weekend with Big Red. I'm gridded third. Here's the beginning of the race. Immediately I'm being passed on the outside by the Corvette. I want to keep the first turn clean. There's a lot of traffic and I don't want to get into a problem there. So I go from third to actually fifth there for a second, but immediately I'm picking up a couple of positions here. The BMW on the outside here, who is going faster on the outside, and I get caught up with the Corvette here. I'm going to try to see if I can go around him here, but there's not quite enough room. And so at this point, I'm probably not that happy because as we're going through the tight stuff, the faster BMW is getting away from me as the slower Corvette in front of me is holding me up a little bit. But it won't last long. I know even as me in the race at this point, I'm thinking, yeah, you know, I got the back straightaway coming up. I got a lot more power. And so if I don't get him on one of these turns here, I'll get him there. So sure enough, here I'm kind of setting him up for that. Going over the top here, he's about the same speed. But now you can see already, even coming over the hill, I'm gaining on him. And here I'm getting a lot on him. Okay, we get around him before we get into turn 8. And I'm a lot faster, and I'm going through turn 8 and going into 9. And now working on the next guy because at this point, I guess I'm back in third. Or actually that other red car, that might be in fourth actually at this point. Third or fourth. But that won't last long. Now that I've gotten around that other Corvette, now I have the chance to sort of be on my own and do cleaner laps and pick up speed here, being unhindered by other drivers slowing me up. Big Red's actually looking really good there, going through turn 2. Coming out nice, a lot of power. That was a downshift from third to second, going up the hill. Kind of the tighter part of the track here, probably the tightest part, coming up over the top here and coming down on turns 4 and 5.
What's kind of your basic strategy with Big Red and other cars?
Well, you know, you don't want to wear out the tires. It's got a lot of power, and when I'm on my own here, you know, I want to be making up time, so I'm trying to use as much of the track as I can, and you can kind of see that. Even I was on the outside of 7 there, going into 8. I'm trying to save the tires, and you know, just use the power on the straightaways and just make up time, especially as I'm sitting alone here. You know, you can see those cars in front of me, so I'm looking at the back of them, trying to catch them. So just doing a really clean line here. See, I went way from the outside up here to the inside. Probably going to try to brake late here, again, to try to catch those guys. Yeah, you can see I'm working the car pretty good in turn 1. That turn has a good bank to it. Turn 2, the car, again, is pretty fast. Probably the slowest part of the track for Big Red is coming up, this tighter stuff as you come up the hill. Undoubtedly, those BMWs probably have a little bit of an advantage on me there. Place like here, there's a little bit of a straightaway, but not a lot. I can only take so much of advantage of Big Red's power there. But yeah, this is the part where I probably have some disadvantage. It's kind of tight. I mean, Big Red still gets around pretty good for how much it weighs and how much power it has. But those other cars are probably going a little bit faster there. Here I'm just trying to do what I can. I got a lot of weight in the car. I'm braking going downhill there and then trying to re-put it back together again, going over the top of this hill. That going over the top of the hill right there, what I just did, that's real important because that determines your speed going down that whole back straightaway, and that determines your speed going into 8, and then that can even affect your speed going into 9 and then the front straightaway. So it's kind of a critical part of the track there. So now it does look like I'm starting to gain on those 2 cars that I've been working on, that BMW and that other, looks like might be a Mazda. Obviously the track, the heat on the track and the cars, the oil from the cars going around and stuff, it's probably getting a little slipperier. And so I'm just trying to, yellow flag. So now, we can't pass each other, but, you still make this effort to try to catch up to the guy in front of you. You're supposed to slow down and be careful. Oh, you can see it there. You see all that gravel and rocks. That was in turn 3. And I really had no choice but to go through it. You never really want to do that because with these race tires, they're not steel belted. And actually stuff like a big rock and stuff like that can actually flatten your tire. And on a relatively short race as one of these, if you get a flat tire, you're pretty much out. So, it ain't the time to change it and get back into the competitive get back to a competitive race. So anyway, so going through that dirt and gravel is something you really try to avoid doing. But I put out the yellow flag, but there's still no way to know what they're talking about until you see the event. So now that I've gone around once, I know about it the next time. But of course, I remember from the race that by the time I got back there, so many cars had gone through it that they kind of created a path through it. So I just kind of ignored it at that point anyway. So you can see from the last lap coming on the front straightaways, I'm getting a lot closer to the BMW here. And in fact, down the straightaway, I even made up more time. So now I'm sure he's watching me in his rearview mirror and knows I'm coming. So parts like this is like I said, I'm coming up to the uphill, slower, tighter part of the track. So I'm probably just trying to get as close to him as I can and just try to stay close to him. So when I get to the fast part, I can overtake him. So kind of that same thing that I did with that Corvette. Right now I'm just trying to stay on his back door. And obviously this is the part where he probably has a little bit of advantage. Of course, that's a De Tommaso Mangusta. And he held up the BMW, but the BMW got around him and I got around him. That looks like a car that must have been lapped. Again, same thing with this Mustang. These guys are getting lapped. There we go, got around the BMW. That was that back straightaway where I clearly have the power advantage, and I stayed close to him, and so he didn't have much of a chance. Now again, on this turn 8, I'm probably faster than him, so I'll probably just extend my lead here. So actually that's turn 9, so I just went through 9. Looked like I did pretty good there. Probably getting a little bit of understeer. He probably did the best he could, but you can see it keep widening the lead. And now I'm going to be looking to the next guy, which is the other BMW. And obviously I'm getting some sun in my eyes here. That's always an issue at Willow at this time of the day, but something you just deal with. Car's still looking pretty good going around 2. You can kind of see the lead that I made on him on the front straightaway is about the same. So, I'm sure he's trying to make it up here, but I'm maintaining my lead to some degree here. So that means when I get back to actually he's made up some ground there. He's getting tight on me, but of course we're coming to the part of the track where I'll dominate the back straightaway in turn 8. So here he's feeling pretty good, but now let's see what happens here. Get on the gas. We know Big Red's got a lot of power, so there we stretch its wings a little bit, more and more, and then turn 8, we're real fast. He's going a little high on the entrance there, but we can see he's not even in the camera view anymore. And I imagine we'll keep and even spread that lead in 9 here, and certainly coming out to the front straightaway. We'll make even a little more ground. Turn 1, we're pretty good. And now all over again. I'm not probably in my view. I'm not seeing the next guy, so he may be too far ahead to catch. We got another yellow flag there. You can see. So another incident. Maybe a guy on the track. Maybe a guy's gone off. Car is still looking pretty good at the top of the hill. That part where it goes downhill and that sharp turn, you get a lot of understeer there sometimes towards the end of the race, but it's still looking pretty good. Obviously, he was really close to my back door on the previous lap at this part, and there I had a much bigger advantage. So lap over lap, I'm pulling away from him. I guess that's not surprising since I caught him. So that was 8, now I'm going through 9. There's the apex right there. 2 cars that I've lapped, so I'm going to probably try to, let's see, outside pass there. Actually, I guess it was an inside pass, but anyway, okay, return 2. Again, we're getting up to more traffic. You know, if they're going to any hope to catch the lead guy, you know, you got to make pretty quick work of these guys. Obviously, actually, I just got the tires off the edge of the track there. That's why I didn't go around them. So that was a little bit of a mistake there. That cost me a few seconds, but obviously I'm not going to stay behind this guy too long. Tires are probably going away a bit here too by this point. Not real bad, but you know, not running like they were in the beginning of the race. Coming up to this AC Cobra, looks like I'll have to pass him on the back. So I actually passed him on the turn 6 over the top of the hill. I'm probably looking to that next guy. Yeah, back straight away, got him, and then one more looks like going in 8. That was nice. That was a little close, but you know, once you're that far in, you've committed. All right, probably still hoping to catch the lead guy, you know, so I don't want to give up too much time. Of course, we're getting probably deeper into the race here. Yeah, still don't have that. I was hoping to see if the lead car was in camera view. But after, you know, all the passing and traffic that I went through, you know, he may have gotten away too far. The car's still looking good. None of the guys behind me are making up any time, so still hitting the apexes on this tight stuff. And still making that apex coming down the hill. I'm kind of sitting out there alone at this point. You know, that always, you get time in these races like that where you got to decide what your strategy is. You know, you don't want to overdo it and go off the track, but you don't want to get lazy and get slow and, you know, miss the opportunity to maybe catch another guy. So, you know, and you also just watching your mirrors, making sure none of those guys that you passed in the past are coming up again. But I'm not seeing anything. Well, actually, that BMW is still there. But you know, that's the type of thing where if you get really lazy, you know, he could all of a sudden start catching up on you. And you don't want to let that happen. If you start seeing, you know, lap after lap, he's gaining ground, then you want to start getting on it again early and not let him get back up on you. Another yellow flag. Get a little oversteer in the car coming out of the turn 2. Back up the hill. I can still see the rocks on the outside that were kicked up on the track. Back to the back straightaway, and Big Red's dominating portion of the track into 8 real fast. Looking real good, tracking really well. A lot of bumps in that turn, you can really see it in the car. get a lot of bump steer there. You gotta wait to let the car settle down going into 9, and then 9's a whole decreasing radius turn, so you gotta really hit that right to get the front straightaway fast. So still passing lap cars here. Here's another one. Another Camaro. My brother a big red, but we gotta pass him. And some more traffic. This one looks like an old Maz car. Looks like I gotta go into the inside of the track coming into 9. That's a good place to pass. And then make up time on this guy and probably set him up for the pass on the straightaway here. I'm trying to figure out which way to go. There we go. Okay, white flag. That means there's one more lap. So probably, don't see anyone in front of me. So probably, just keep the car on the track, keep it clean, bring it on home, and take that second place. No one's close enough behind me to do anything, but likewise, I'm not close enough to the lead car to catch him. So anyway, seeing some of the cars that didn't finish the race on the side of the track, they get more and more as the races go on. You can see a couple now. Coming up here for the back straightaway for the last time. Car's still looking good. Probably make another pass here on this guy, the AC Cobra. Or maybe not. Actually, maybe no reason to. And it looks like I'll be just getting up on him about the time that the race will be ending. Yeah, there we go. All right, and looks like we'll be taking the checker flag. There we go. All right, second place. Not bad. Okay, now that the race is over, I will answer some questions that were in the user comments. We were running the normally aspirated 555 cubic inch engine. That's the typical road race package that we use for the situation.
Any advice on getting more aero out of a 69 Camaro?
Absolutely. There's a lot of air friction issues, obviously, with the front of the car, and especially as the air goes under the car. And there's air that gets trapped in there, and there's also air that hits actually the front tires. And by putting a splitter or a front air dam on the car, it actually pushes that air off to the sides and splits the air and allows it to go around the car. And it looks like a minor thing, but it can make a big difference aerodynamics-wise. Actually, I could also say there's also a lip on the front of the splitter that actually aerodynamics keeps the front of the car down. So it's not only to split the air and keep it off of the tires and the front of the car, but then to also put some air pressure to put pressure down the front tires. There's all kinds of things you should do. Lay the windshield down more, put a nose on the front of it, but all these things will make it not look like a 69 Camaro, so we typically don't do them. And so we haven't done much for aero. That's why the car looks so cool. I'm always up for answering fan questions, so feel free to leave me a question and I'll get back to you. Well, thanks for watching us at Big Red Camaro. Like and subscribe.